Have you ever wondered what hides beyond the postcards and cliches that we so associate with France? Imagine a country where every street houses stories that span centuries, where the past intertwines with the present at every corner and reveals secrets almost forgotten by time. This video invites you to discover surprising corners, off-the-beaten-path places that keep the essence and charm of this much-admired nation alive. Upon entering this unique universe, the senses are immediately awakened by an explosion of colors, aromas, and sounds that paint a unique scene. Visualize medieval villages with stone buildings, where narrow alleys lead to charming squares, and ancient fountains that reveal stories from ancient times. Think vast fields of lavender and golden vineyards that stretch to the horizon, composing landscapes worthy of impressionist masterpieces. Every detail, from the imposing architecture to the untouched natural corners, was sculpted to tell a rich and exciting narrative, where tradition and authenticity meet in perfect harmony. France, with its mysterious aura, goes far beyond traditional tourist attractions. It surprises with unusual corners and small havens that exude charm and authenticity, where the smile of a resident, the cobblestone streets, and the works of art hidden in little explored alleys tell a vibrant and multifaceted story. Ancient cathedrals, imposing castles and bridges that seem to defy time, are silent witnesses of a cultural legacy that transformed world art, fashion, and gastronomy. Every corner of this country invites visitors to rediscover the passion, creativity, and intensity of a culture that remains eternally current. In this video, you will be taken to discover surprising curiosities, cultural icons that marked eras, and true hidden treasures, rarely seen by unsuspecting eyes. The images, captured with sensitivity and depth, will reveal a France that escapes the conventional, where tradition merges with innovation and the unusual is present at every step. You will follow stories and scenes that awaken the imagination, showing that behind each monument and landscape hides a universe of stories waiting to be discovered. Feel the vibrant energy of a land that inspires and excites, where each landscape is an invitation to dream and be enchanted. Each scene has been carefully chosen to provide a unique visual and emotional experience, revealing that France is much more than meets the eye. Get ready to embark on an unforgettable experience in France. France reveals itself through stories that intertwine tradition, innovation, and legends, showing that its cultural legacy goes far beyond postcards and tourist cliches. It is in everyday life and in collective memory that we find the elements that give life to national identity, from the art of making bread to the mysteries that surround ancient roads. The baguette, for example, has become an indisputable symbol of French culture, not only because of its unmistakable flavor and texture, but also because of the strict rules that, since the beginning of the 20th century, have governed its production. The government established specific standards to standardize the weight, shape, and even the crunchiness of the shell, in order to preserve a tradition that has been passed down from generation to generation. Each piece of this bread carries within it a story of resistance and adaptation, revealing the master baker's talent for maintaining authenticity, while introducing subtle innovations that accompany social and technological transformations. In the same country where tradition is present in every batch, the popular imagination finds space for the inexplicable. During the 18th century, an enigmatic creature known as Bête du Gévaudan spread terror throughout the villages and countryside, giving rise to a legend that echoes to this day. Described as a beast with an almost supernatural appearance, capable of attacking villages and leaving the population seized by panic, this narrative of mystery and suspense has become a symbol of the human capacity to transform brutal facts into stories full of enigmas. Even after countless expeditions and hunts, the true identity of the beast was never confirmed, which only fueled the legend and reinforced the idea that the unknown can be as fascinating as it is frightening. The transformative force of French legislation is also evidenced in the creation of the Napoleonic Code, promulgated in 1804. This legal reform not only unified the country's laws, but also introduced the ideals of equality, liberty, and fraternity in ways that shaped the political and social structure of the nation. The modernization promoted by this code had repercussions that went beyond the borders of France, influencing legal systems in different corners of the world. Through profound structural changes, the Napoleonic Code demonstrated that legislation can be a powerful instrument for social transformation, leading the country to a new level of organization and justice that remains in force as a historical legacy. Amid this transformation, Parisian literary cafes emerged as true refuges for restless and creative minds. These places, which flourished on the streets of the capital, were the stage for meetings between writers, artists, philosophers, and revolutionaries, who debated ideas there and sculpted the cultural and political future of society. Each conversation, each glance exchanged in the shade of a cup of coffee, contributed to the emergence of artistic movements that ranged from Romanticism to existentialism, demonstrating that the exchange of ideas can be as revolutionary as major institutional reforms. The vibrant energy of these meetings spread across the sidewalks and squares, symbolizing the free and challenging spirit that has always characterized French culture. One cannot talk about France without highlighting the richness of its gastronomy, where cheeses and wines take on leading roles. Each region of the country has culinary traditions that date back centuries, with recipes carefully preserved and improved over time. Camembert from Normandy, Roquefort from the south, and many other delicacies tell stories that are intertwined with the climate, the soil, and the dedication of local producers. The wines, in turn, born in regions such as Bordeaux, Champagne, and Burgundy, are the result of refined techniques that transform simple grapes into true liquid works of art. This gastronomic heritage not only awakens intense flavors and emotions, but also reinforces the bond between the people and the land, celebrating regional identity and the cultural diversity that enriches the nation. Another milestone in French modernization was the inauguration of the Paris Metro, which, in 1900, revolutionized the city's urban mobility. This transport system, with its interconnected lines and innovative design, symbolized the spirit of modernity that drove the country at the turn of the century. The metro not only made it easier for Parisians to get around, but it also represented a new way of connecting people and spaces, integrating tradition and technology in a surprising way. Today, it continues to be a global reference in public transport, demonstrating that innovation can go hand in hand with respect for roots and history. The celebration of music is another vibrant facet of this multifaceted culture. The Fête de la Musique, held annually on June 21st, transforms the streets into true open stages, where musicians of all genres come together to share their talents spontaneously. Started in 1982 with the aim of democratizing access to music, this festival invites the population to experience sound diversity and connect through melodies that transcend barriers. Neighborhoods and squares are filled with varied rhythms, from classic to contemporary, creating an atmosphere of celebration that unites communities and enhances cultural pride. It is a clear demonstration of how art can be a bond, capable of transforming simple encounters into memorable moments. Finally, among the many legends that permeate the French imagination, the figure of La Dame Blanche stands out as one of the most intriguing mysteries. This ghostly woman, dressed in white, is seen in several regions, appearing on roads, bridges, and historic sites on foggy nights. Ancient reports associate its appearance with omens of important events, forbidden loves, and secrets of aristocratic families, giving the legend an aura of mystery that attracts both residents and visitors. The presence of this enigmatic figure stimulates the imagination and reinforces the notion that, in the midst of everyday life, there is always room for the inexplicable and for the magic of past stories, which become legends and continue to enchant those who hear them. Thus, French culture presents itself as a mosaic of ancestral traditions and modern innovations, where every detail, be it the precision in the making of bread, the audacity of a legal code, the effervescence of a literary cafe, or the mystery surrounding a lady dressed in white, makes up a rich and multifaceted narrative. This coexistence between the old and the new not only enriches the cultural heritage, but also reinforces the idea that a nation's identity is built through its stories, its flavors, and its legends. When looking at French daily life, we realize that history is present in every corner, in every flavor, and in every sound, revealing a nation that, even in the face of the transformations of time, remains faithful to its roots and its immense potential for reinvention. Did you already know this curiosity? Leave in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. France is a country that, over the centuries, has transformed into a true open-air museum, full of iconic destinations that tell stories of royalty, revolutions, artistic innovations, and traditions that span generations. When visiting each of these places, it is impossible not to be enchanted by the cultural richness, architectural beauty, and vibrant energy that is revealed in each street, square, and monument. Embark with us on this unforgettable journey, where each destination is a gateway to a universe of surprising sensations and discoveries. We started our journey in Paris, the world capital of art and romanticism. In this metropolis that pulses with history, every corner holds a secret, and every monument bears witness to remarkable moments. The imposing Eiffel Tower, a symbol of modernity and 19th century engineering, rises like a beacon that illuminates the city, inviting visitors to climb its steps and enjoy the panoramic view of the skyscrapers and historic neighborhoods that spread across the Seine. The Louvre Museum, in turn, houses masterpieces that span millennia, such as the enigmatic Mona Lisa and sculptures that express the perfection of classical art. Strolling through the charming streets of Montmartre, where bohemians and artists have transformed each alley into an open-air gallery, is like feeling the pulse of a city that breathes culture and creativity. In Paris, the experience is not limited to contemplating the monuments. It is possible to enjoy a coffee on one of the many terraces, participate in gastronomic tours that explore the flavors of boulangeries and pâtisseries, and even embark on a cruise along the Seine at dusk, where the city's lights transform into a sparkling spectacle. Have you ever visited any of these places? Comment below what your experience was. Leaving the urban heart, we head towards the enigmatic Mont Saint-Michel in the Normandy region. This small, rocky island, crowned by a medieval abbey, seems to float between the sky and the sea, revealing an aura of mysticism and legend. During high tide, the place transforms into an isolated fortress, accessible only by a narrow path that appears when the waters recede, creating an impressive contrast between the incessant movement of the ocean and the ancient stillness of the sanctuary. As you enter the cloisters and corridors of the abbey, you can feel the echo of the prayers and footsteps of monks who dedicated their lives to contemplation and faith for centuries. This destination, which has inspired poets and filmmakers, is ideal for those looking for an experience that goes beyond the visual. It is an immersion in a past full of spirituality, legends, and mysteries. Have you ever let yourself be enveloped by this magical atmosphere? Share your impressions in the comments. Continuing through the central region, we arrive at the charming Loire Valley, known worldwide for its magnificent castles and fairy tale landscape. Along the Loire River, among meticulously tended vineyards and gardens, stand fortresses that have been scenes of political intrigue, forbidden love, and royal celebrations. Château de Chambord, with its unique Renaissance architecture and spiral staircase inspired by Leonardo da Vinci, is just one of many examples of this legacy. Each castle tells a story, from the elegance of the halls decorated with tapestries and antique furniture to the secrets hidden in towers and secret passages. In addition to visits to monuments, the Loire Valley offers activities such as cycling along the banks of the river, tastings of wine produced in local wineries, and festivals that celebrate the culture and history of the region. This bucolic setting, full of history, is perfect for photography lovers and those who wish to lose themselves in the beauty of nature and the grandeur of architecture. Have you ever imagined living a royal day in this setting? Tell us your experience or your desire to visit this special place. Further east, on the border with Germany, we find the region of Alsace, a place where French culture harmoniously mixes with Germanic influences, creating a unique and welcoming environment. Strasbourg, its capital, enchants with an architecture that combines the grandeur of Gothic cathedrals with the delicacy of colorful half-timbered houses. The narrow streets of the historic center, full of craft shops, charming bistros, and inviting cafes, transport the visitor to a scene that seems to have come out of a fairy tale. Alsace is also famous for its wine routes, where small wineries produce aromatic white wines that pair perfectly with local cuisine, full of intense and traditional flavors. During autumn, harvest festivals and regional product fairs liven up the cities, celebrating the richness of local ingredients and the hospitality of its people. In each village, the feeling of being in a place where time slows down and history is present in every detail is almost magical. Have you ever had the opportunity to stroll through the charming streets of Strasbourg or taste Alsatian wines? Leave your experience in the comments. The journey continues towards the south, in the region of Provence, where nature and history merge into a palette of unforgettable colors and aromas. Known for its lavender fields that stretch as far as the eye can see, Provence is an invitation to serenity and the delight of the senses. Small medieval villages such as Gourds and Roussillon appear to have been sculpted by time, with their cobblestone streets, welcoming squares, and vibrant markets filled with local produce. The region also contains traces of the Roman era, such as arenas and temples that testify to a rich historical heritage. In addition to admiring the landscapes, visitors can participate in cooking workshops that teach how to prepare typical dishes, explore craft fairs, and enjoy outdoor dinners, washed down with wines that carry the flavor of the land. Provence is a destination that excites both visually and tastefully, providing moments of pure connection with culture and nature. Have you ever had the opportunity to be enchanted by the lavender fields or taste the authentic flavors of this region? Share your story. Going down the coast, we enter the glamorous Côte d'Azur, or French Riviera, a setting of brilliance and sophistication where the blue of the Mediterranean merges with the charm of coastal cities. Nice, with its Promenade d'Anglais, offers an unforgettable walk along the seafront, where the scent of salt and the cool breeze create an atmosphere of eternal summer. Neighboring cities, such as Cannes and Saint-Tropez, are synonymous with film festivals, luxurious yachts and parties that last until dawn, attracting celebrities and lovers of life with a thirst for glamour. But the Côte d'Azur also hides peaceful corners, like picturesque villages nestled among the hills and secret coves that seem to have been forgotten by time. In addition to enjoying the beaches, visitors can venture on trails that lead to viewpoints with panoramic views, explore antique markets, and taste local cuisine, marked by Mediterranean influence and fresh ingredients. Every sunset here is a spectacle in itself, painting the sky with orange and pink tones that inspire poets and artists. Have you ever let yourself be enveloped by the charm and sparkle of the French Riviera? Tell us which city or beach left its mark. Turning our route to the southwest, we arrive at the renowned city of Bordeaux, heart of one of the most important wine regions in the world. More than just a city, Bordeaux is a true center of culture and gastronomy, with a colonial past mixes with the modernity of a dynamic metropolis. The banks of the Garonne River offer boat trips that reveal a city that reinvents itself with every look. With its mix of historic buildings, imposing bridges, and vibrant squares, the Bordeaux region is famous for its full-bodied and sophisticated wines, and a visit to local wineries is an unmissable experience for wine lovers. During harvest seasons, wine festivals and events bring together producers, sommeliers and connoisseurs from around the world to celebrate the art of winemaking and the passion for the land. In addition to wine, the city offers an effervescent cultural scene, with museums, art galleries, and events that celebrate everything from classical music to contemporary trends. Each street in Bordeaux tells stories of commerce, innovation, and art, inviting visitors to immerse themselves in a unique atmosphere of tradition and modernity. Have you ever explored the streets of Bordeaux or tasted its famous wines? Share your adventure with us. To round off this route through France's iconic destinations with a flourish, we couldn't help but mention Lyon, a city that stands out as the capital of gastronomy and an important cultural and historical hub. Located at the confluence of the Rhône and Saône rivers, Lyon was the birthplace of the French Renaissance and has established itself over the centuries as a center of culinary and artistic innovation. Its trabbles, secret passages that wind between ancient buildings, are an invitation to discover mysterious corners where the past mixes with the present. In the historic neighborhoods, gastronomic tradition is present in each bouchon, a typical restaurant that serves specialties such as quenelles, andouillettes, and an impressive variety of cheeses and charcuterie. In addition to cuisine, Lyon boasts an architectural heritage that ranges from Roman remains to Baroque churches and squares filled with sculptures and elegant fountains. The city is also famous for hosting dance, music, and film festivals that, with each edition, bring together local and international talent, transforming its streets into vibrant stages of art and culture. For visitors, Lyon offers the opportunity to get lost in street markets, explore museums that tell the city's history, and even participate in gastronomic tours that reveal the secrets of local cuisine. Have you already had the chance to discover the charms of Lyon and indulge in its delicacies? Comment below what your favorite discovery was. Each of these iconic destinations in France is a celebration of the country's diversity and cultural richness. When walking through the streets of Paris, feeling the mystical energy of Mont Saint-Michel, admiring the grandeur of the castles of the Loire Valley, being enchanted by the fragrant fields of Provence, vibrating with the glamour of the Côte d'Azur, getting lost in the magic of Alsace, toasting to life in Bordeaux, or falling in love with the secrets of Lyon, the traveler finds himself immersed in a narrative that transcends time and tourist cliches. These are experiences that awaken the senses and spirit, transforming each tour into a unique and unforgettable experience. When walking through these scenarios, it is possible to engage in activities that range from silent contemplation of works of art and historical monuments to active participation in cultural and gastronomic festivals. Imagine tasting authentic French wine at a century-old winery, walking trails that wind through lavender fields, sailing the Seine in the soft evening light, or exploring local markets where each product has a story to tell. Each destination offers not only a stunning visual panorama, but also a complete immersion into the soul of France, a country where every street, every building, and every tradition has the power to touch the heart and inspire the mind. The rich cultural and historical tapestry that unfolds across these cities is an invitation to discovery and reflection. With each visit, there is the chance to better understand the roots of a nation that knew how to transform its historical scars into sources of inspiration and resilience. It is as if every stone, every monument, and every landscape whispers ancient secrets to us, inviting us to reflect on the passage of time and the eternity of feelings that shape the identity of a people. Embark on this journey through France's iconic destinations and allow yourself to be swept away by the beauty, history, and emotion that each location has to offer. Whether you are a history buff, an art lover, or simply someone looking for moments of contemplation and discovery, these places promise experiences that will be remembered forever. Have you ever visited any of these places? Comment below what your experience was and what enchanted you most about this incredible journey through France. Amidst the vastness and diversity that make up France, there are secret corners and charming villages that remain off the beaten track, offering visitors a unique experience, full of sensations and stories that seem to have stopped in time. When venturing through these hidden destinations, it is possible to feel, at every step, the pulse of a culture rooted in tradition, where sounds, aromas, flavors, and textures intertwine to compose a symphony of unforgettable sensations. In Collonges-les-Rouges, a picturesque village located in the Corrèze region, the reddish sandstone buildings rise majestically, revealing a scene that, at dusk, transforms into a spectacle of light and shadow. Walking through its narrow streets is like walking through a labyrinth of stories, where the echo of footsteps on time-worn sidewalks mixes with the distant murmur of conversations in the local dialect. The earthy aroma of the stones, combined with the subtle fragrance of the flowers that decorate old balconies, creates an atmosphere that invites visitors to slow down and absorb every detail. It is said that, many years ago, a humble craftsman from the village, known for his skill in carving religious images, carved a statue of a patron saint in such a masterful way that the image itself seemed to emit a soft glow during moonless nights, inspiring devotion and enchantment among local residents. Continuing on the journey through little explored destinations, you arrive at Saint-Cyr-Clapepie, nestled on the slopes of the Lot Valley. This medieval village, often described as a hidden gem, reveals a breathtaking setting, where stone houses cluster together in harmony, as if wanting to protect the secrets of past generations. As you walk through its cobblestone alleys, the distant sound of bagpipes and the tinkling of remote church bells mingle with the cool breeze that carries the aroma of wild herbs and local terroir. The flavors of regional cuisine, with its artisan cheeses and full-bodied wines, are savored in small cafes that open onto hidden patios, where each meal is a celebration of history and conviviality. In a small square, an old man, whose gaze reveals the wisdom of many decades, used to tell visitors the legend of a maiden who, in love with a knight-errant, mysteriously disappeared on the banks of the river, leaving behind an amulet that, to this day, is considered a good luck talisman by the residents. Further east, in Conques, in the Auvergne region, time appears to have been preserved in the form of stone and memory. This ancient pilgrimage site, whose abbey houses sacred relics and impressive medieval stained glass windows, invites travelers to a deep immersion in spirituality and art. As you enter the cloisters, you can hear the echoes of Gregorian chants that, like a soft whisper, tell stories of faith and miracles. The aroma of incense, which mixes with the damp smell of centuries-old stones, transports visitors to an era in which religiosity dictated the rhythms of life. In a small side chapel, a curious story persists. The legend of a reclusive monk who, during a stormy night, had an extraordinary vision of the Virgin, receiving the gift of interpreting dreams. This narrative, passed down from generation to generation, gives Conques an air of mystery that transcends time, awakening in each visitor the sensation of being faced with a materialized miracle. In the sunny Aude region, the village of La Grasse presents itself as an oasis of peace and tradition. With its cobbled streets and facades that proudly display Gothic architecture, La Grasse is an invitation to get lost in a scene of enchantment. As you walk through its alleys, the distant sound of an accordion mixes with the clinking of glasses in small taverns, where the heady aroma of local wine merges with the smell of freshly baked bread and exotic spices. The textures of the stone walls, worked over the centuries, seem to tell stories of fights, love, and popular festivals. A curious local tradition reports that, during festive seasons, a young peasant woman used to, with agility and grace, walk through the streets with a basket of flowers, distributing petals as a symbol of renewal and hope. Legend has it that, in one of these celebrations, she saved the village's harvest by offering a sincere prayer, inspiring her neighbors to join forces and transform adversity into prosperity. Heading south into Gard lies Aigues, a village perched overlooking the depths of the Ardèche Valley. This corner, which seems to have come out of fairy tale, reveals breathtaking landscapes, where the walls of old houses face the grandeur of the surrounding nature. The rhythmic sound of the river that descends in cascades, the fresh aroma of the trees, and the salty taste of a breeze that brings with it particles of minerals from the earth create a unique sensorial experience. In Aigues, visitors can get lost in the labyrinth of streets that open up to surprising viewpoints, where the sunset paints the sky with intense, warm colors. A popular narrative says that, long ago, a young shepherd, known for his courage and sensitivity, guided a group of lost travelers during a stormy night, using only the light of a lantern and his unshakable faith. This story, celebrated in local songs and tales, reinforces the image of Aigues as a place where generosity and hope intertwine with natural beauty. In the corners of the Alpes de Haute Provence mountains, Moustiers-Sainte-Marie appears as a haven of serenity and tradition. Perched on a hillside and bathed by the crystal-clear waters of stream, this village is famous for its production of handmade ceramics, whose colors and shapes reflect the purity of the nature around it. When walking through its narrow streets, the visitor is enveloped by a soft melody, the sound of the stream that accompanies their steps, the rustling of leaves in the wind, and the distant murmur of the conversations of residents who, with pride, preserve the secrets of their origins. The earthy aroma of clay, mixed with the delicate scent of wildflowers, awakens memories of ancient times. A small local legend tells that, in one of the corners of the village, an elderly woman, known as the Guardian of Dreams, had the ability to transform the wishes of the inhabitants into beautiful pieces of ceramics, spreading magic and inspiration wherever she went. This story, full of mysticism, is celebrated in annual festivals and reinforces the enchanted aura that surrounds Moustiers-Sainte-Marie. Finally, entering the region of Brittany, Rochefort-en-Terre reveals itself as a surprising refuge, where tradition and romanticism merge in perfect harmony. This village, with its medieval houses and streets paved with irregular stones, evokes the feeling of having been transported to another era. As you walk through its alleys, the sound of laughter and lively conversations mixes with the soft crackling of lit fireplaces in small craft shops, where the smell of burning wood and candle wax recalls the memory of ancient crafts. The local flavors, marked by the sweetness of corn cakes and the bitterness of artisanal ciders, are a true sensorial journey, inviting visitors to experience the authenticity of a cuisine that values simple ingredients, but prepared with mastery. In a small square, residents fondly remember the story of a young blacksmith whose talent allowed him, in times of scarcity, to transform metal scrap into utilitarian works of art, symbolizing the resilience and creativity of the inhabitants of Rochefort-en-Terre. This narrative, which endures in local festivals and celebrations, illustrates how, even in the most hidden corners, the strength of community and the spirit of innovation flourish with each new day. While exploring these hidden destinations and enchanting villages, visitors not only encounter scenes of rare beauty, but also find themselves immersed in a tapestry of stories and traditions that have shaped each community's identity. In each location, sounds, be it the tinkling of church bells, the murmur of a stream, or the sound of conversations in a square, merge with the aromas of flowers, ancient stones, freshly baked bread, and local wines, creating a multi-sensory experience that transcends the visual and touches the soul. The textures of the weathered walls, the fresh touch of a morning breeze, and even the warmth of a hug offered by a welcoming resident are details that transform a simple visit into a true cultural immersion. Each village, with its unique peculiarities and charms, holds in its depths the memory of generations, where legends and historical facts mix to create a legacy that remains alive, pulsating, and in constant renewal. This wealth of traditions, told in whispers and laughter, in celebrations and festivals, is an invitation for the traveler to authentically connect with the essence of the place. And it is precisely in this connection, between the past and the present, between the place and the visitor, that the true charm of these lesser-known destinations is revealed, where each story, each street, and each resident contribute to a unique narrative full of emotion. By allowing yourself to live these experiences, it's possible to understand that France, far beyond the large urban centers and famous tourist attractions, hides in its corners a vibrant soul full of stories that are waiting to be discovered, shared, and, above all, experienced. During this journey through Collonges-les-Rouges, Saint-Cyr-Clapepie, Conques, La Grasse, Aigues, Moustiers-Sainte-Marie, and Rochefort-en-Terre, the visitor is constantly surprised by small stories that give color and personality to each place. Be it the legend of the enlightened craftsman who transformed stone into light, the tale of the maiden in love whose sighs echo through the streets, the miraculous vision of the monk in Conques, or the story of the young shepherd who guided travelers through the storm in Aigues, each narrative is an invitation to look at the world with different eyes that know how to value the details and marvel at the simple charm of everyday life. These villages, with their traditional festivals, vibrant markets, and celebrations that honor ancestral customs, offer activities ranging from tastings of typical products to craft workshops, as well as guided tours that tell the story of each street and each resident. When venturing along these less traveled paths, the visitor discovers that the true essence of the journey lies in the ability to connect with the place, to hear the stories that echo on the walls, to taste a recipe passed down from mother to daughter, and to be moved by the simplicity and beauty of a sincere hug. This complete immersion, where the senses are awakened and the imagination takes wing, reveals that each hidden destination in France is an invitation to a profound and transformative experience. Between the murmurs of the wind that crosses the stone streets, the flavors that tell secrets of harvests and traditions, and the looks that meet and recognize each other when sharing stories, there is one certainty: that the true journey is the one that takes us to encounter others, ourselves, and everything that makes life an adventure full of meanings. We invite you to let yourself be carried away by this current of emotions, to discover the hidden charms in each village, and to allow each experience to become part of your own story. After all, it is in discovering the unexpected that the magic of travel lies, and in the simplest details lie the greatest riches. May this narrative of the hidden destinations and charming villages of France awaken in you the desire to explore, feel, and be moved. On every street, in every corner, the promise of a new universe reveals itself, waiting to be discovered by those willing to walk with an open heart and a curious mind. And you, have you ventured into any of these secret corners? Share in the comments which of these places touched your heart and transformed your view of what it means to travel. France is a country full of enchanting stories, surprising traditions, and curious customs that spark the imagination and invite visitors to immerse themselves in a unique cultural experience. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to participate in a typical French party, where music, dance, and gestures intertwine to create a magical atmosphere, full of authenticity and emotion? Here, customs go far beyond clichés and reveal a wealth of cultural practices that fascinate and inspire people from all over the world. Think, for example, of the traditional apéro, a moment of relaxation that brings together friends and family to celebrate the end of the day with a glass of wine, special cheeses, and delicious snacks. This practice, which may seem simple at first glance, is full of meanings. It symbolizes the importance of conviviality, sharing, and valuing life's small pleasures. Have you ever participated in an apéro? What was that experience like for you? Share with us in the comments. Another curious custom that reveals a lot about the identity of the French is the ritual of greetings. In many regions, it is common to greet friends and acquaintances with kisses on the cheek, usually two, although in some places this number may vary, demonstrating affection and closeness in a way that goes beyond words. This way of connecting, which may seem intimate to some visitors, reflects the importance of personal relationships and the human warmth that characterizes the French way of life. And you, how do you feel when receiving or offering this type of greeting? Have you ever been surprised by the intensity of French hospitality? Tell us your impressions and experiences. In addition to everyday gestures, France also hosts festivals and celebrations that are true cultural events, marked by rituals and traditions that date back centuries of history. A fascinating example is the Fête de la Musique, held every year on June 21st. On this date, the streets transform into true open-air stages, where amateur and professional musicians perform in a spontaneous festival of sounds and rhythms, celebrating the diversity and universality of music. The contagious energy of this event is capable of uniting people from different backgrounds, encouraging the active participation of everyone who wants to let themselves be carried away by the charm of the melodies. Have you ever participated in the Fête de la Musique? What kind of music touches your heart and makes you feel part of something great? Your opinion is very important to us. Another tradition that arouses the curiosity of many visitors is the celebration of the Nice Carnival, one of the largest and most vibrant in the country. During this period, the streets are filled with colors, parades, and dazzling costumes, where creativity and joy are exuberantly celebrated. Residents indulge in a collective celebration that mixes elements of history, art, and folklore, creating a visual spectacle that impresses with its diversity and originality. Each parade tells a unique story, where masks, props, and choreography symbolize legends and events that have shaped local culture over the centuries. Have you ever thought about dressing up and participating in such an engaging parade? What costume would you choose to represent your personality and story? Share with us your ideas and dreams for this type of celebration. Speaking of traditions that mix mysticism with everyday life, we cannot fail to mention the superstitions that permeate the French imagination. In many homes, for example, it is believed that walking under a ladder brings bad luck, or that hitting a new house with your foot first guarantees bad luck. Such beliefs, which may seem simple and even a little curious, reflect the search for rituals of protection and prosperity, passed down from generation to generation. There is also the superstition of the Chat Noir, the black cat, which, depending on the region, can be considered both a symbol of bad luck and a guardian that wards off negative energy. These practices, which emerge in the midst of everyday life, reveal a layer of folklore that enriches French culture and stimulates the imagination of visitors. Do you believe in these superstitions, or have you ever experienced a situation in which a local custom influenced your experience? Leave your comment and tell us. France's cultural richness is not just restricted to major festive events and rituals, but also manifests itself in small daily traditions, which transform routine into a moment of celebration. Think about the importance that many French people give to lunchtime, a sacred moment when they come together to enjoy a meal made with fresh ingredients and prepared with care. This habit, which goes far beyond simply eating, is a true celebration of the art of living, where time is dedicated to savoring flavors, aromas, and, above all, the company of those you love. Each dish served tells a story, be it a family secret passed down from generation to generation, or an innovative recipe that mixes the traditional with the contemporary. How do you feel about sharing a meal with family or friends? Which flavors remind you of special and unforgettable moments? Your experience at the table can reveal a lot about the power of cooking to connect people. Amid these customs and traditions, cultural interactions in France also stand out for a strong emphasis on dialogue and the exchange of experiences. Many museums and cultural centers promote interactive events, where the public is invited to actively participate in workshops, lectures, and debates, recovering memories and reinventing historical narratives. This rapprochement between past and present, between knowledge and experience, allows visitors to not be mere spectators, but protagonists of a story in constant construction. Imagine participating in a cooking workshop where a renowned chef teaches you the secrets of Provençal cuisine, while sharing stories about the region's typical ingredients and the traditions that gave rise to legendary recipes. Or, take part in a guided tour through historic streets, where each cobblestone has a story to tell, and each corner reveals a surprising detail about the cultural evolution of the place. Have you ever had an interactive experience of this type? What cultural activity marked you and made you feel part of the history of a place? We want to know everything in the comments. These customs and traditions are part of the French social fabric, creating an environment where every gesture, every celebration, and every ritual are valued as authentic expressions of local identity. They invite visitors to slow down, pay attention to details, and let themselves be enveloped by the charm and uniqueness of a culture that, even in the face of modernity, lovingly preserves its roots and charms. This cultural heritage, which manifests itself in daily rituals and major festivals, is an invitation for all of us to rethink the way we live our daily lives, valuing the moments of connection, shared joy, and introspection that make life a rich and multifaceted experience. Now, we want to open up space for you. Which cultural experiences in France pique your interest? Do you dream of participating in a lively apéro, being enveloped by the human warmth of greetings à la Française, or venturing into a vibrant parade during the Nice Carnival? Perhaps you are curious to experience the unique atmosphere of a traditional lunch, where each dish tells a story of love and dedication, or you want to get lost in the streets of a historic city, listening to the tales and legends that echo through the centuries-old alleys. Each experience is an invitation to discover a little more about the essence of France, a country where every gesture and every tradition contributes to the construction of a rich and complex identity. Share with us your expectations, your memories, and, most importantly, the experiences you would like to have in this enchanting country. Your opinion is essential so that we can create a sincere and passionate dialogue about the cultural wonders that France has to offer. Leave your comment and tell us, which French tradition or custom arouses your curiosity the most and why? We look forward to reading your stories and discovering, together, the secrets that make every corner of France a celebration of life and culture. At the end of this unforgettable journey through France, we are invited to reflect on every moment lived and every detail that transformed the trip into a remarkable experience full of emotions. We remember Paris, where the magic of the lights of the Eiffel Tower mixes with the bohemian charm of the streets of Montmartre, creating a setting where art, history, and romance intertwine in a unique way. We think of the enigmatic Mont Saint-Michel, whose mystical silhouette over the high tide evokes legends and ancestral memories, transporting us to a time where faith and mystery walked side by side. In the Loire Valley, the imposing castles tell stories of kings, intrigues, and revolutions, revealing the grandeur of a past full of passion and power. In contrast, Provence surrounds us with its vast lavender fields, medieval villages, and intense flavors that reveal themselves in each dish and in each aroma that wafts in the air. The Côte d'Azur, with its sparkling blue and vibrant parties, mixes modern sophistication with traditions that stand the test of time, enchanting visitors with its contagious energy. Each region of France exposes a unique facet of this multifaceted country. Alsace enchants with its Germanic influences and delicate wines. Bordeaux seduces with its passion for wine and the rich history of its streets. And Lyon, known as the capital of gastronomy, celebrates each meal as a meeting of flavors and feelings. This sensorial immersion, the lively sound of Parisian cafes, the touch of centuries-old stones, the enveloping aroma of lovingly prepared dishes, and the sight of breathtaking landscapes, reveals that traveling in France is more than exploring destinations. It is about experiencing emotions that touch the soul and renew the spirit. If you were enchanted by this adventure, enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new experiences. And we want to know, where are you watching from, and which country piques your curiosity for new discoveries? Share your stories, experiences, and dreams in the comments, and let's continue exploring the charms of a world full of cultures, traditions, and unforgettable moments together.